Rick Ross just may be the biggest boss, but he is also a very unusual individual with a ferocious obsession to lemon pepper wings because he can't eat just one. Now, there has been a bit of back and forth between him and the 85 South show because of how he disrespected their podcast a few years back. About 20 minutes into the interview, Rick Ross abruptly walked out and never returned. And podcast hosts dcyoungfly, Carlos Miller, and Chico Bean didn't take kindly to his departure, but according to them, they hold no grudge because they still have love for the rapper. Now, the story is Rick Ross was agreeing with DC about a comment he made regarding longevity as an entertainer. Rick Ross in agreement said, "That's right. You can't never take your foot off of Ian's neck." And then Ross stood up and said, "Now if y'all will excuse me, I'm going to the bathroom to take off my Gucci jacket. And when I come back, I'm going to finish talking to y'all." Well, little did they know that would be their last time seeing Rick Ross, aka Ricky Rose, in person. Because Rick Ross didn't even go to the bathroom. He walked right out the exit, got in his Maybach, and sped off. And he drove straight to another interview where he would feel more comfortable because allegedly they were going to pay him. Now, one of the producers of the 85 South show revealed that Ross had left. And they all just laughed and assumed that maybe Ross had to leave for some sort of emergency. So they let it go and continued that podcast for about an hour. In doing so, they left all of Ross's merch and products in clear view. And they used humor to make light of an awkward situation. Later, DC found out the truth. When he found out the real reason why Ross had to leave so abruptly, he found out that there was no emergency whatsoever. Rick Ross left to do another podcast on the exact same day. After DC got word of this, he was taken back. And he addressed the incident on the Rory and Mal podcast, saying, "First of all, I still respect Ross. And it's no hard feelings, but that's something you can't do. You can't just leave us like that and then I see you get on a white folks podcast where they ask you questions we would have never asked because we got respect for you. They asked you, was you a correctional officer? And you sat right there and answered that question so eloquently. We would have never asked you nothing like that because we got respect for you." You dig what I'm saying? I mean, you got me feeling like, what's the difference between them and us? And so Ross responded to DC in a way that only he can. He went live in his pool. His outdoor pool, by the way, and gave his explanation as to why he had to walk out. DC, little bruh, I left because I did y'all podcast for free. I didn't charge y'all. I could have. I haven't wasted my brand new Gucci jacket on that look. Because I can't wear that no more. Now, I'm gonna come back. And I'm gonna do it again. And I'll do y'all podcast again for free. But this time, y'all better have me some lemon pepper wings or I just might walk out again. Now, I know y'all might be a little upset, but you gotta remember, did your podcast for free. And then Ross hit a backstroke in the pool before cutting his live off. Now, of course, DC couldn't let that slide. And he immediately responded on his live and said, Ross, again, it's nothing but love. But you could have told us you had to leave, and we would have respected that. And you know what? We want you to come back. But when you do, please bring that Gucci jacket so I can hang it up on the wall at my house and tell my kids that this is the Gucci jacket that Rick Ross had on when he left my podcast back in the day. And then DC ended the live by reaffirming that he still has respect for Ross and that there's no hate there.